also not figuratively, but also literally. The NWA back to the territories between Joe Kazana Promotions Southeast, Exodus Pro, right now as an NWA star and an independent wrestling star. What's it feel like having the NWA help elevate the indies again, to have the NWA territories be in full function again?
I think it's a great thing, honestly. I mean, when it comes to professional wrestling as a whole, this is something that we've had a few different points where professional wrestling has dipped in popularity, or it's dipped in intensity, it's dipped in interesting things. Let's call a spade a spade. I never like to talk negatively about any other promotion or anybody else in the wrestling world or whatnot. You know, I think this is one of the best things that could happen for pro wrestling to help along in a resurgence that we've needed for a little while. I mean, the pandemic, it hit us pretty hard for professional wrestling, and that was one way that a lot of people kind of gathered around to, kind of get back to a normal life. And we're still building on what professional wrestling is 4 years after that pandemic had started. And we're at a period that wrestling's extremely hot. People are seeing this in the mainstream. We're continuing to build it up in a lot of ways that may be brought to you by the 2010s, where we had the indies being a big part of that renaissance, a big part of that boom. And I think NWA is doing something great here by trying to bring back a classic. I mean, the territories existed for a reason. That system worked so long for a reason, and there's no reason they can't come back. I know that, I'm sure whenever Billy came up with the idea ever so long ago, I mean, I don't know if people remember originally him talking about a 20-year plan. And this is probably a big centerpiece of that 20-year plan. He's somebody that when he thinks of a concept, he doesn't think of how it's going to fail. He doesn't think of how it's going to work. Let other people talk about that. Let other people say, oh, this has never worked. This is going to fail. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. His job is just to make it happen. Once he thinks it up, he makes it happen. And he's continuing to do that here with the territory system. I think it's a great thing, not only for the NWA and for our stars that can go out there and kind of, flex a little bit. Say, hey, I'm an NWA superstar and I'm coming out to your town, wherever that's at. Hey, we have this territory, this promotion right here that we can show you guys in this area. This is exactly what NWA is all about. This is a small taste of it. And the people that are local to this area that can come out and see just a small taste of what the NWA is giving out to you guys, we can have our best local guys come up against NWA superstars and see how they stack up. And I like to think that iron sharpens iron. It's an old phrase, but it's absolutely true. You can only get better in the ring and in life kind of by getting your ass whooped. You can only get better by being around people who are better than you. So I think what this is going to do, it's not only going to enrich the NWA and spread the good word, it's also going to make people on the independents step their game up. These are going to be guys that are going to be going from being indie stars to being NWA superstars. The sky is absolutely the limit. And when we make that reach out there to the indies and we work with them, we bring all of professional wrestling up. It is good for everyone. And it's something that I've been excited about since I've heard about the idea. Seeing it implemented so well is fantastic. We have multiple territories already. Territories I've been to so far. Exodus Pro is one of the first territories I was a part of them debuting and building that up. I was also a part of NWA JCP. I haven't been a part of NWA Crossfire just yet. That might just happen. You never know, and I'll be coming over there too. In War Wrestling League, coming into Fight the World Wrestling, NWA Chicago that I was also a part of, starting that promotion too. There are so many promotions we're going to have under our belt, under the same umbrella of the territory system, and bringing even more people into the fold, getting new talent to come in, show their stuff, teaching everybody on both sides, from the NWA to the indies, something new, something that can make them better, and earning everybody the skills we need to continue to bring professional wrestling up. We can't just have the top companies with a WWE or an AEW, the bigger companies with the bigger money. We can't just have them leading the way. We also have to do our part as another major promotion to continue to enhance the one thing we all love, the one thing we all have in common, no matter how much money you're talking about, no matter what name you attach to it, whatever 3 letters you're talking about, we all love professional wrestling. So this is something only made out of a serious, deep, passionate love for professional wrestling. And anybody who is a professional wrestler, anybody who has a love for professional wrestling, because you can't be a wrestler and not love pro wrestling, because it's not fun. It don't feel good. It's fun, but it don't feel good. You cannot see this happening, see this like implemented, and not clap your hands for it. Because again, we all love this, and this is a labor of love. So everyone, I can speak for everyone fully, and I think I can speak across the entire wrestling industry. This, this is big. This is a big deal, and I absolutely love it. So do we all.
Now, this question, I don't want to bring up a sore subject. You're not in the Crockett Cup this year. You and Dak had a great run last year in it. You guys have you've had your cup of coffee in the Crockett Cup. I want a prediction from you. You've got the Immortals versus the current tag team champions BFT. You have the reigning Crockett Cup champions Knox and Murdoch versus the Southern Six. You got any ideas or picks for me?
Well, I'm a little bit salty because me and Jeez, unfortunately, we got together a little bit after the qualifying rounds of the Crockett Cup tournament, so we don't get to participate this year. Doesn't feel the best. But you can't go in there by yourself. You need to be a tag team. You can't go in there as a one-man army. Trust me, I tried. But if I had to predict, I would say it seems unsafe to bet against the tag team champions. They literally have the highest prize in all of professional wrestling when it comes to being a tag team. So to say that the tag team champions are not going to win at all is something that I feel like is an unsafe bet. But with that same thing said, the team that knocked us out last year and went on to win the cup also have a pretty good chance to repeat because they also were in a tournament with the current world tag team champions at the time, and they happened to still win the entire tournament. So I am going to do, I guess, I'm going to split the middle because both of those are safe bets. I would say it still has to be BFT. I think last year things happened. Maybe I'm a little salty about losing, but then again, I didn't have the best partner in the world. So I'm going to say BFT. They have the tag team championships now. They've been giving Knox and Murdoch a run for their money and winning and winning and winning. It is hard to see them not going into the same situation and basically do what they've been doing most of this year, and that is beating the last Crockett Cup winners at every turn and every opportunity. So BFT is my pick. At least that can be something that I win instead of the Crockett Cup like last year where we lost. At least I can win this bet here and say that BFT are going to win. It feels like a safe bet. It feels like the right bet. You know what? BFT. Like I said, BFT.
You can't go wrong by putting the money on the champs, right? That seems like a solid bet. Nothing wrong with that. All right, Mims, we're ready to land the plane. But before we go, even NWA superstars have to answer 5 random questions. I've got 5 fresh ones queued up for you. You didn't answer these. These are fresh and ready. I got them. Let's go. Question number 1. Are you a pickle person? Do you like pickles?
Absolutely. I think people who don't like pickles are weird. My best friend in the entire world, my former tag team partner, I love this man till the day that I die. Old Miggs, if you're that much of an NWA nerd, hates pickles. Weirdest thing ever. You put pickles on his burger, he will just not eat the entire burger. You could go ahead and just pick those off. Let's not be children. Just pick it off if you don't like it. No, hates pickles. That's weird. Love pickles. Give me a pickle all day. Hot pickle, cold pickle, spicy pickle, sweet pickle. They're pickles. Give me the pickles.
Question number 2. What was your favorite childhood movie?
Ooh, boy. That is hard. Favorite childhood movie, because I've seen almost every movie in my childhood I had to see multiple times. Man. I'm gonna feel really bad about this because I love the series, but I know this movie is absolute trash. It is garbage, but it still works on me. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That is I know it's bad, but it has all the characters I like in it. It had Jackson. It had all these other cool characters. I like it. It's bad. Don't judge me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially when it's like your personal. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got some, and if it's going to be a guilty pleasure, why not be that one, right?
Exactly.
Question number 3: who's the musical artist you're listening to the most right now?
It has to be let's see. Who is the person I am listening to the most right now? Man, I've been kind of getting wide ranged about it. I've been diving a bit more into Smashing Pumpkins music just because of the fact that I have so much to catch up on. And somebody very special in my life, they are such a big fan of Billy. And they were telling me, because we became friends literally over this during this time, they were like, "You don't know his whole discography? Let me show it to you. I'm obsessed with it." So I've been slowly getting into a little bit more Smashing Pumpkins or whatnot, finding my favorite things here and there. I think some of more of the modern stuff is some of my favorites, like Witch is probably my absolutely favorite Smashing Pumpkin song. It was from the first time I heard it. And so I don't know if that's a guilty pleasure. I don't know if that's everybody's favorite. It's mine. It's not like, the classics that everybody talks about, like, Tonight Tonight or anything like that. Or like, I think it was like Butterfly Wings. Yeah. It's not like those classes everybody picks. But I would say, to not give the brown nose answer, I am a really, really, really big Pharrell Williams fan. I love NERD. I am still playing their albums constantly because they always speak to me. I think the first album I ever heard was Seeing Sounds, and it still gets played today. Today.
All right. Question number 4. I'm going to stick with music this time, but I'm going to put you on the spot. It's one of the biggest music, like some of the biggest music news we've had in a long time. Who do you got? Kendrick or Drake?
Oh, Kendrick. No question. Kendrick, absolutely. I was a really big Drake fan when he started catching popularity in 2009. So Far Gone was a classic. It was absolutely fantastic. I mean, he made Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. And I'm sorry, that song is really good. It still slaps to this day. But Kendrick Lamar, that man has made almost nothing but classics. I had to get talked into Kendrick Lamar because I'm not gonna lie. Out of everybody in Black Hippie, I was a J Rock fan first and foremost, and I heard Kendrick on Money Trees, and I was like, yeah, I mean that was good, but it's J Rock's song. I'm worried about J Rock, and I got hooked when I heard Section 80. After that, Kendrick can do no wrong. He can't make a bad song. It just doesn't. No, it's Kendrick Lamar. It's always Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry.
All right. Question number 5. What was the last TV show you binge watched?
Last TV show I binge watched. Are we talking shows I rewatched, or are we talking shows like brand new?
Oh, it could be a rewatch. It can absolutely be a rewatch.
I know it's gonna be hard to see. You can't really see Chris Pratt right there on my arm, but I am actually wearing a Parks and Rec shirt. So in the back of it, it's gonna actually because I can have you see it. I'm sitting on the counter in my kitchen. I'm gonna go to my guest bathroom here. And I think you guys have to see if I can line this up correctly and get my hair out of the way somehow.
A mouse rat shirt? That is awesome.
Yes, it is a Mouse Rat Pawnee World Tour T-shirt. That same special friend that I have or whatnot. She kind of bought me that shirt. She bought me that shirt because. As a reward for listening to an entire Smashing Pumpkins album a few times in one day to really sink it in, she was like, "Yeah, I'll get you something nice." So she got me a Mouse Rat shirt because I think I was still binging Parks and Rec at that point. I think I think the episode that I was at that time was it was probably the second appearance of Lil Sebastian. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Little Sebastian.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I would have not expected you at all to stand up to show me you were wearing a T-shirt for the TV show you were going to bring up. And I love that because I'm an Office fan, and I've asked a question a lot of times in the 5 Random, Office or Parks and Rec, because I'm an Office guy. So I respect Parks and Rec, but The Office is always going to be special in my heart. So
I'm just a big Amy Poehler fan. She can be in literally anything and everything. It could just be watching Amy Poehler like watch paint dry, and I'm probably gonna watch it.
It's a hit. 10 times out of 10 will put butts in seats, right?
Exactly. This butt's gonna be in the seat.
All right, Mims. This is the part of the episode where I shut up. I'm going to let you plug everything you want to put over and tell us what you got coming up.
So just the same old NWA things, but even for me, same old Mim stuff. So any of my socials, I think now I have an X account. I didn't have an X account the last time, so that's really Mims or either really underscore Mims. I try to make it really underscore Mims on everything. Same thing on Xbox. I'm still really Mims or really underscore Mims. The same thing with my Instagram, which is the main social media that I use, really underscore Mims, because it's really me. And for some reason, people don't think that's really my name. I'm really Matthew Mims. That is my actual name. But outside of that, when it comes to things that are coming up, I'm taking a little bit of a break right now. So I'm trying to train up. I'm trying to change a few things. I'm trying to add some new things to Big Strong Mims to make him bigger, to make him stronger, to make him ready for the next event for the NWA, which is going to be on August 31st, if I remember correctly. And that's NWA 76. That's going to be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at what we used to call the ECW Arena. I think now it's called the 2300 Arena. So I want to bring something big. I want to bring something new. I want to bring something Mims to NWA 76 because that's going to start off a new year. That's going to start off a new year for the NWA. We're going from 76. We're going to year 77. That's what we're building up to. And I want to start building at that show. I want to start building the NWA Takeover that I'm going to orchestrate with BLK Jeez. And if I remember correctly, that's BLK Jeez's hometown right there. So I think there's going to be something possibly pretty special for you boys, BLK Jeez and Big Strong Mims. But after that, if you haven't already looked on NWALiveEvents.com, please do that because you'll see that we have a whole swath of things coming up. We should probably have a show almost every single month, so you never know what's going to happen. Right now, Mr. Corgan is on a world tour, but he's going to be back from that world tour in the States, continue the rest of that tour. And whenever he's back in the States, you never know what's going to happen with the NWA. Right now, we're waiting until he comes back, but the plans are still coming. The wheels are still turning. We got Selwyn coming up. That's going to be in Sarasota, Florida. That's going to be in October. That's Selwyn too. You never know what could happen. The Father James Mitchell and his creatures are still going to be there, but also Big Strong Mims and BLK Jeez are going to be there. And then also, hey, if you didn't make it out to Dothan, Alabama, the last time we were there, we are coming back for Looks That Kill. That should be either on December 12th or December 17th. Hey, this big, strong brain sometimes forgets a few things, but that is going to be the Looks That Kill. It's going to be a brand new signature live event that we're going to have, and it's going to be fantastic. If you haven't seen it already, go on NWA's socials. You can see the poster that has me on it because that's the best one. And you'll be able to see something great in Dothan, Alabama. Last time we went to Dothan, Alabama, they turned up in a really big way. We had a large, extremely crazy crowd that was all the way crazy about NWA professional wrestling. And I guarantee you this time that crowd is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times even bigger. So that is everything on the slate right now. I'm sure if you want to know more, if you want to see some new stuff coming up, and there's going to be some new announcements coming up very, very soon for what I'm doing, check out my socials. Check out NWA's socials at NWA on almost pretty much everything you can get at somebody on. At really underscore Mims on everything you can get at me on. And you'll find the new news. You'll find everything that's big and strong with me. It's the right thing to do.
Mims, I really appreciate you stopping by this evening and chat about some wrestling with me, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Always. I want to take a second to remind you, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple at Botchbots and Chair Shots, and if you found us through lastwordonsports.com, we want to say thank you for listening there, as always. And for the big, strong Matt Mims, I am the Will Gray. Thanks for stopping by and listening, my people.